World Wide Web, I'm Dr. Shado, the internet personality with the best hair, and we finally made it to week 4 of Gamerathon 3, the last Showa-era Gamera film that I have yet to review, Gamera Super Monster.
Just let me die.
Released many years after the last, Gamera Super Monster marked the end of the Showa era of kaiju films in 1980, before the Heisei era began with a new Godzilla film. Interestingly enough, though, Gamera Super Monster is not held in very high regard. Many go so far as to say it doesn't even count when you tally up Gamera movies.
Burn it! Kill it! Set it on fire!
You're gonna give away the ending!
What ending?
You too! Unfortunately for Super Monster, the studio wasn't doing financially well when the project was underway. Therefore, the vast majority of the movie's running time is actually stock footage of all the previous Gamera films. The amount of original movie present is probably less than 40 minutes.
Well, in case you're thinking of doing the same mistake as the filmmakers here, padding for the sake of padding, why don't we just cut to the review?
Just give it another chance, okay? The movie opens in deep space, where strangely the classic Gamera theme is missing in action, and in place is the so-called Gamera March.
The hell is that? Sounds like a 70s kid recital song.
No, I was just sad because I was all hyped to listen to that Gamera theme, sing along to it, and it didn't show up.
The Gamera theme is not on a date with you. Stop it!
Once that bit of psychological horror is out of the way, the movie tries to convince us that it's smarter than it actually is by spinning a story about the possibility of life in outer space. Again.
Yeah, a Star Destroyer.
No. Star Destroyers are copyrighted. This is a completely original, non-copyrighted spaceship for this movie.
Looks like a Star Destroyer to me.
No, you see those gaps and the wings, and also the balls on top are not balls, but dishes, so it's completely different.
So you can justify buying a Star Destroyer kit, only putting in half the parts and calling it an original design.
Yes.
The Star Destroyer then reenacts the opening of the original Star Wars, before we suddenly switch focus to a pet shop in Japan. Here we meet Kirara, played by Mach Fumiake.
Wonder twin earring power activate?
That doesn't make any sense, Creepy. She isn't a twin. She's clearly a triplet.
Wonder triplets? Anything to save face.
Locking up the pet shop, she moves on to gather the gang in a tokusatsu mystery machine.
Okay, did something go wrong with the movie file?
No, I got a fresh rip off the Blu-ray. I mean, it runs like shit on my crap top, but this isn't any kind of corruption, it's just there.
Someone was having fun in Adobe After Effects.
The three space women in high-heeled boots and super tight tights exchange information. Turns out one felt a bit iffy, and that's all we have to work with. Do they normally fly around Japan and drive big hulking balls of fire around, risking exposure every time one of them gets the willies?
Looks like it. No, it's Tokyo, so...
Even though the ominous voice doesn't know what they look like, where they are, or how they can be found.
So, what's the deal with the spacewomen? What's the significance? Did they get a patent for the iPhone, or what's this? Why is he doing this?
He's evil, they're good. It's not complicated.
The trio transform back into humans so they won't be detected.
Strike a pose, there's nothing to it. Vogue!
Oh no, it's Rita Repulsa!
Hold on. She didn't have much better reasons behind her actions beyond just being evil.
Decker, you do realize that you just admitted that the Power Rangers series you loathe so much is written better than this movie.
There.
Following this, we are introduced to our evil space woman, Giruge, played by Keiko Kudo. She works for the evil Star Destroyer, and that's about it.
No, really. Her mission is to find the 3 space women and kill them. There's nothing more to it than that.
What about her backstory? Her family life? Her hobbies?
Are you trying to have a date with this woman?
I wouldn't put it past him.
No, I just want some character development. Though, while we're on the subject, is she available? Giruge transforms into a gender-swapped nostalgia critic and goes out for a night on the town.
Well, that would explain her stance on dating. Looks like you're out of luck, Decker.
I'm just trying to figure out what the hell an Omer is.
The folks in charge of the translation for the subtitles only put slightly more effort into that than went into the movie.
Well, that's disappointing in several ways. So let's move on to our kid for this movie. Kaiichi, played by Koichi Maeda, practicing his organ. Great. Of all the things to spend time on, why an organ? It's not like it's going to be plot relevant later.
Actually...
Fuck!
I can see you're getting used to this.
On his way around town, Keiichi runs into a few friends, who stop to talk about how Gamera made a cameo appearance in this comic book.
本当だ。待てよ。俺はこの筋肉マンの方が面白いな。
We're watching a Gamera movie, and one of the first lines is, yeah, Gamera's cool and all, but he ain't got shit on Muscle Man.
You're just angry that Muscle Man vs. Gamera was never released stateside.
It would give us something to do besides watch this movie.
Well, there are some Gamera video games that I don't have them.
Why didn't you bring this up before we got to Japan?
One of them mentions they know the actual police officer from the comic with Gamera, so the kids rush to meet him. Indeed, he has a pet turtle and looks the part, but swears that he is not the character from the comic book.
今日はこれで10人目だぞ。漫画と同じと思うのはちょっと甘いんじゃないかな。
Product placements!
I don't think they understand how that works. You're supposed to plug the story about the movie's main character, not someone else's.
Let me guess, it turns out this actually is the man from the comic, and the turtle is Gamera.
No, actually, this goes nowhere.
Well, why the hell is it even in the movie?
Product placement!
And padding.
On his way home, Kaiichi runs into the pet store owned by Space Girl 1, who offers him a free turtle. A short break to watch some stock footage, and we come back to find Keiichi singing to his amphibious friend.
友達がいる。仲間がいる。
The movie's theme! Well, that's coming off damn close to the fourth wall, isn't it?
Well, that would explain the quality of it, at least.
Actually, it improves the quality of the song.
Unfortunately, though, the boy's mother doesn't want the turtle in the house, and convinces the kid, who is convinced he has a psychic connection and can communicate with the thing, to let him go free in the river.
If this kid really did have a psychic connection to the turtle, shouldn't he have been able to figure out that the turtle wanted to be free without his mother telling him that?
Well, I'm just glad that he's able to psychically communicate with the turtle without a Game & Watch.
While this turtle drama continues, stock footage Gauss is terrorizing past Japan.
You know, after spending a couple of nights cold, hungry, and tired on the streets of Nagoya, this doesn't seem all that bad.
Oh, no, not the Shinkansen! We need that!
At least you're not the one stuck sleeping in a suitcase. With Decker's socks, no less.
Late for her Spacewoman meeting, Spacewoman 3 transforms and teleports her car, making her a target for the Star Destroyer. This causes the group to decide to save the studio even more money by cutting back on the transformation and special effects from here on out. Keiichi then arrives at Spacewoman apartment headquarters to apologize about freeing the turtle.
お姉さんも弾くの？戦えガメラ、火を吐けガメラ、愛する者のために行け。
Again? This is the third time we've heard this song. It's only been 20 minutes into the movie. You'd think they'd wait a little longer before we worried about padding.
Ironically, I believe those same sentiments could be sent to us right now. Hearing the song inspires the 3 space girls to run out and use their Vogue powers to summon Gamera. I don't like this song either, but even I find this a little harsh.
Why did they even have to summon him? Didn't he just show up on his own in every other Gamera movie ever?
Complicating things helps expand the running time. Kind of like picking apart every non-stock footage scene as much as you can.
In any case, the ladies manage to summon Gamera successfully, and we see him in his stiff, unnerving pose flying with his dead eyes.
Yeesh.
I'd hate to see what the suit looks like.
Good, because there isn't one for this movie.
What?
Low budget, remember?
And thus, stock footage Gamera beats stock footage Gauss. Giruge also makes quick friends with Keiichi, feeding him a hamburger to learn his psychic secrets. Secrets he shares with the Spacewoman Patrol, such as the fact that the next big kaiju battle will take place by the sea.
You're in Japan. You really need to be more specific than that.
Seriously? It's Japan. Pick a direction and keep walking. You'll get there eventually.
Well, maybe it's not Japan. They never really specified that part to it.
You're just making the problem worse.
Giruge, in an attempt to garner more of the child's trust, let him know she's a spacewoman before sending him through a kaleidoscope nausea tunnel, bringing them to the shore to witness more stock footage battles.
Decker, aren't you supposed to be playing Turtle Power through this?
That's just for new fight scenes. Reruns don't get preferential treatment.
And now you know why Wasserman is sitting this one out as well.
Having watched the ending of Gamera vs. Zigra, Keiichi decides he'd much rather go home on the train than the puke portal. Giruge's refusal to let him go is enough to convince the lad that she's the evil spacewoman and can't be trusted. Doesn't help him much to escape, but don't worry, Space Girl 1 is here to play the organ to his rescue.
Told you.
Unlimited technology from the whole universe, and they're schlepping along with a Casio. Thanks to being saved in the nick of time by extra-dimensional musical powers, the kid figures the women aren't what they seem.
そうか、わかった。お姉さんとこの間の2人のお姉さんたちはいい方の宇宙人だったんだね。
You've gotta be from New Zealand!
I was gonna say Portugal.
You need somewhere with more technology than Japan. How about Mars?
No. Men are from Mars.
You don't mean that literally.
私はキララ。そして後の2人がマーシャとミータンっていうの。
Oh, does this mean I can't call her Space Girl anymore?
Space Woman sounds more dignified anyway.
Let's be honest, these women need all the dignity they can muster being stuck in this movie.
To show him that she is a real bona fide spacewoman, Kirara gives him a tour of the apartment in the backseat of her car.
That sounds...
Get your head out of the gutter.
It's too late for that.
Following this, they quickly evacuate the vehicle as her transformation alerted the Star Destroyer to the location. So instead of building the plot, we get to see more stock footage as Gamera fights Viras again.
I still can't believe this part was considered good enough to be in both movies.
And both reviews, don't forget that.
Does this mean that you both have the same standards as the people who made this film?
No.
The constant string of failure for Giruge to destroy anything on Earth that isn't stock footage has her evil space bosses pissed. She promises to suddenly become competent, so they let her live for now. Gamera, however, is flying amongst the stars and... what the hell? What the fuck did I just watch?
I don't know.
なんだ、夢か。残念だな。
I should be relieved, but I'm still too horrified.
Is it that the best this kid can dream? How about Gamera versus the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man?
Stop suggesting better movies.
In her attempt to kill the good space women, Giruge plants some space C4 on their space van and gets her space ass the space fuck out of the way. Though it looks like she may have accidentally sent them back to 1955.
Oh, great. Like Doc Brown didn't have enough problems before this.
You're mentioning movies you'd rather be watching again. Stop it!
As luck would have it, the spacewomen had a powerful force field protecting their apartment handbag in the van.
Meaning that Giruge's plan was bound to fail from the get-go.
奴らにやられちゃったのさ。
しまった。
Did they just say that?
Yes, they did.
Oh, holy fucking cock-ass titties in a kid's movie?
Pot, meet kettle.
Thinking she succeeded in the assassination attempt, Giruge tells her boss to start up the next reel of stock footage, as Gamera should be much easier to defeat.
よしジャイガーを出せ
はい
Didn't we just see this movie?
To be fair, there were a few years between the release dates.
No excuses.
So, in case you've forgotten a week, Jagger's the one with the snot rockets and the Ultra Mega Super Death Ray.
And the prehensile dick.
Get off with that!
Come on, Decker. You know the truth. Embrace it.
After Gamera shows up and beats Jagger's ass in much the same way we already saw, Giruge is in deep shit. After this, she just begs for one more chance, once more, one more time, for once.
ガメラをこちらの味方につけるのです。ガメラの脳波をコントロールしてこちらの命令通りに働かせるのです。
So you're not only taking footage from Gamera vs. Virus, but the entire fucking plot as well?
Because that worked so well the first time you tried that.
So they get to recycle the much older footage of Gamera destroying Japan like he used to. They even pull a Gamera vs. Virus and go so far as to show the stock footage of the original Gamera film in black and white.
No, if it's any better, they show it on a TV, which makes it ever so slightly less out of place.
I can't wait for Gamera Super Duper Monster where they show this very scene played on someone's smartphone.
And the movie can end when the guy blindly walks out into traffic.
Wanting to get to the bottom of this latest crisis, the space women utilize their technological organ
To take a look at Gamera's organs.
There are no words. None. On the plus side, they find the mind control device. This means Kilara can spandex up and tempt the Star Destroyer into blasting its own tool off Gamera.
ガメラ、こっちから敵に先制攻撃を仕掛けるのよ。怪獣の巣を襲うのよ。
Yes, go forth and fight the miscellaneous remaining monsters. There's really no point in even trying to shoehorn a story around it now.
And so help me if they try to.
Eggs of madness, creepy. Eggs of madness.
With the space fades, Giruge figures at this point, screw the giant monsters in stock footage, let's just shoot the bitch already. This results in a ripped skirt and legs, but Giruge getting her ass handed back on a platter.
なぜ撃たないの？私たちは人を殺したり傷つけたりするために武器は使えないのよ。
Thus, Giruge goes to shoot them, but the power of friendship and clinical depression causes her to turn the blaster on herself. Still, the others prevent her from taking her own life.
And then that happened.
Another dream? Why does everyone in Japan dream in anime?
Wouldn't you?
Giruge hears that Kenichi views her as a sister, and this surprises her because she knows how cruel she was.
Ignoring the fact that Kenichi calls every woman older than him sister.
Aw, he's going through his first fetish! Ew. So now that all the happy, cheery, friendly stuff is out of the way, Giruge uses the Star Destroyer itself to commit suicide, rendering all of it pointless.
私たちの身代わりになってくれたのね。
Bullshit! Who was coming at you?
Star Destroyer?
And it's still coming at them!
Isn't this movie over already?
Well, let's get it over with. As they are completely out of stock footage to film time with, the Star Destroyer is closing in on the Earth, so Gamera flies off into space to protect it. Though this does have the adverse effect of blowing him the fuck up and destroying the heroic icon that the series was built on in the first place.
Ha! Gamera dies.
Don't rub it in.
Gamera dies, Gamera dies.
いらっしゃい。平地君、君も宇宙人だ。おいで。
What?
How does that work?
You're done? Fine. Fine. Don't care.
Agreed, agreed. It's over.
It sure is. That was Gamera Super Monster, and cock shitty as fuck. What? Weakest of the series? Oh yes, by far. Gamera vs. Virus was really heavy-handed with the stock footage, but compared to Super Monster, it looks like a shining example of originality. Super Monster does have a quote-unquote original story, but even then it's not a particularly good one. For instance, of the Space Woman characters, Kilara is the only one that's of any use. She does everything and makes all decisions. There's 3 of the damn things, but 2 don't do jack.
I don't have words. I don't have words. I am wordless. Wordless! If I could find one redeemable quality in this movie, it would be the Space Women. They were an interesting trio, and I would like to know more about them. I would have liked to learn anything about them. Their relationship with Keiichi is enjoyable and heartwarming, but it's nowhere near enough to salvage this film.
The story is surprisingly generic. Evil aliens come to Earth. For the 4th frickin' time. For the flimsiest reasoning of the entire series. That might work if the fighting is worthwhile, but the entire movie is stock footage. Even taken as a greatest hits highlight reel, there's a lot of disappointment when you find out that the crummy flying Gamera doll just blows up at the climax. Excitement has to build to something, but the movie simply had nothing to offer.
I don't know what else could be said. There's so much awful here that even the little redeemable bits don't feel worthwhile. I was bored through most of it, and when I wasn't bored, I was wondering why I was watching it. Let's just call it a day with this one. Since I can't give it a 0, Gamera Super Monster ranks 1 repeated giant turtle motorboat scene out of 5.
Overall, Gamera Super Monster feels like someone taking a bunch of their favorite movies and splicing them together into a new one, but without any of the budget, or skill in creation. I understand the studio was at a really rough time, but that's no excuse for a critic. Therefore, Gamera Super Monster comes in at 1 really awkward spaceman amongst many space women out of 5.
Well, that wasn't bad. I mean, it was totally worth going around the world and living on the street for a couple weeks, right? I'm going to kill you and sell your body to the highest bidder.
Not necessarily in that order.
Right. Thank you all for watching. I've been Dr. Shado, and remember, check out the new Gamera comic book. But Muscle Man's better.